Dexter, thank you so much for having us here today. This is my friend Dexter Guillory, and he lives in Eunice, Louisiana, and he has invited me to have a crawfish boil at his house. So I'm gonna teach him how to do this right, okay?
We can all learn.
Good for you. So what are you doing now, Dexter?
Well, we have the water hot, and we're getting ready to go in with the vegetables.
Wonderful.
And then the crawfish.
If you help me, I'll do this. We're gonna do the, let's do about, well, you can throw those all in. We'll do a good batch at first, okay, Dexter? Now you can throw half of these in. That's what you do. That's your potatoes, your onions, okay, c'est bon. And let's throw the onions in. I mean, the lemons. The lemons, right. We did the onions. And add this, you see.
Oh, some good garlic.
We use all this for seasoning. Now, we're gonna add this good old crawfish boil or shrimp boil. Hey, Dexter, how much of this do you want me to put in there?
About half the bottle ought to work.
Very good, we got you. Now, do you want to add some hot to that?
Yeah, always a little hot sauce.
Very good. Boy, that makes it real good. Okay. Now you're gonna cover it.
Yep.
Bring it back to a boil, right?
Let the vegetables cook a little while, and we'll go in with the crawfish and the corn.
Okay, good. So then we're gonna, while we're waiting on that to boil, let's talk a little bit.
Okay.
So, how long have you been doing this crawfish stuff?
Oh, we've been doing this about 25 years. We were one of the first ones in the area with the ponds, and now we have a processing plant, and that's what we do for a living.
What's involved in raising crawfish?
Well, you have to, around here, you usually a rice former first, and then before you cut the rice, you put the crawfish in it, drain the rice, cut the rice, and in the fall flood up, and you normally have crawfish around December or January.
So you don't buy feed for this, you just raise them?
No, they just eat the rice and the stubble, and that's what they use to grow.
Well, it hadn't been very good this year. That's
no,
unusual.
No, it hadn't been one of our best years.
Right.
But next year.
Next year. Oh, there's always hope for next year.
It.
Oh, yes, and they're so beautiful, though.
Yeah,
They're pretty. Those that are there are beautiful, really.
Yeah, that's
How many
right.
acres do you have?
We have about 100 acres, not all in crawfish, but then we've been doing it about 25 years.
You rotate, don't you?
Crawfish and rice, yes.
Yes, one year you have the crawfish, the next year you have
that's correct.
in another field, right. Okay, well, good. Well, how many men do you work?
Oh, we work 3 or 4 people, depending on how busy we are.
About 3 people, and you check them every morning?
Every day we run the traps.
Every day. You run the traps, and then you bring them to the plant.
Bring them to the plant and wash them and get them ready for the market.
How many traps do you put out there?
Oh, you put about 15 per acre.
15.
It's a bunch of traps when you're running them.
God, yes. Well, I was out there this morning catching these crawfish for us to eat today, and that's a messy job.
It's a job.
It's a job. And you have a peeling plant also.
We have a processing plant, and we do a lot of distributing and peeling.
You also have a restaurant.
And that keeps us busy, too.
You cover the whole 9 yards of it.
Yeah.
Right. You have,
stay busy all the time.
Well, that way you don't go hungry, because you got a good cook that cooks you food. You got food to provide for the table.
That's
so you
right.
cover
Keeps
it all,
us busy.
right? I guess so. And crawfish is you can cook it in so many different ways.
That's
but
right.
This is a Cajun stream.
Yeah, this is the way it starts.
Right. Of course, to me, that's my favorite, because you get to sit down and you visit with friends and
make a day out of it.
Family, and just have a good time.
That's right.
How they say that, Dexter? Laissez les bon temps rouler?
You got it.
Right. And that's what we're going to do today,
We're
right?
going to try.
That's right. And we're doing a good job of it so far.
Well, it's about that time.
Yes, it's almost ready.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
See?
Ready for the crawfish.
All right. Now you're going to grab those beautiful Louisiana crawfish.
That's it.
Guillory crawfish.
All right, we're going to go in the water with them.
Yeah.
They've already been washed, so they're ready to go.
So what you do, Dexter, you purge these, don't you?
That's correct.
Right,
we get them clean before we put them in the water.
Now you cover that?
And then we'll cover it and get it started, and then come in with the corn.
And you want me to time it?
We'll just watch when the water returns to a boil, and there's the time.
Whoa, are you cooking, chef? Very good. Well, that's real fun and easy. It's so easy. You know, we used to boil them in a different way when I was a little girl. Of course, we caught them in a different way, too. We'd crawfish in the ditches.
One at a time.
One at a time. No, we're going to throw in corn and mushrooms. Now, that's not Cajun stuff.
No, but it's good. Garlic
it's good.
And mushrooms.
And I'm going to add wieners for your little grandson, okay?
Wieners and sausage.
And you know what? Cajun cooking is so good, you can throw anything in the pot that you want.
That's right.
Make a jambalaya of anything you want, right?
You got it.
So I'm going to do this for Melissa, my daughter. who loves these things. She wanted them in, so these are hers. And we're gonna throw some winners. But I learned this, kids sometimes can't peel crawfish. So that helps the mamas.
Keeps them busy.
And helps the kids. So we've got all our ingredients if you want to cover it. We need our corn.
Let's go in with some corn.
Yeah, our corn. Yeah. Oh, it's a good thing you're keeping me straight, Dexter.
Now we're ready.
Did you time this, Dexter?
No, but you just watch the water, and when the water returns to a boil, you give it another minute. So depending on your heat source, that tells you how long you got to cook it. Just make sure you let the water return to a boil.
Now, you boil it, and you cut your fire off.
Cut your fire off.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Because the problem with a lot of people, they overboil their crawfish.
No, you don't want to overboil.
You don't want to do that.
After 1 minute, after
right.
1 minute,
now, what we're going to do with these, Dexter, I suppose we're going to take them out to the tables, lay them out, season them real good,
right.
and
then get
start
started.
peeling.
That's it. You got it.
Well, I want to be, among one of those peelers because I haven't eaten one bald crawfish yet this year.
Well, today's the day.
All right.
A gorgeous feast in one pot. They're just about done. I can't wait to get these out.
Well, this is wonderful. I see you've even brought your...
Yep,
well,
my
the
boss
boss.
is here.
Yeah, your
My
boss
boss
is
is
on.
here.
Well, that's the chief cook, too. I know
You're right.
that. So I appreciate both of y'all letting us come here today. I know it's a wonderful thing y'all did. We're thoroughly enjoying it, and it's very gracious of y'all to do this. But you know what? We've got some hungry people waiting for us. We better bring them these
It's
crawfish.
just about that time.
Very good. Allons, child. Allons,
Okay, let's go.
Make sure you have plenty of newspaper on the table for easy cleanup, abundant paper towels, and plenty of hungry guests.
Hey, you got to push up.
Oh, you got to push up.
This is the danger zone with hungry Cajuns around. Make sure you keep the bald crawfish coming, pot after pot.
That's Miss Lucy.
This is what you call sucking the heads. Good crawfish and a good cook make these real tasty. Not too spicy, yet seasoned just right. You can also whip up a good dip to go with these gorgeous tails. Lessons on peeling crawfish tails are always necessary for the children and any foreigners at the boil. A beautiful setting for a wonderful Cajun springtime get-together with family and friends. This is a typical scene in South Louisiana. Invitations are never turned down to a traditional crawfish boil. I claim the biggest crawfish.
That's a crawfish on steroids.
All right,
This
I
is
slipped
mine.
a lobster in the pot.
But he belongs to the crawfish family. He's just a little... They say that actually crawfish were lobsters, and they were in Maine, and they just swam down to Louisiana. By the time they got here, they were this size.
Along with good food comes good music, which Les Amis were so happy to furnish. Of course, I joined them with my spoons from the kitchen. To complete a wonderful meal, some delicious homemade ice cream. The line quickly forms as I dish out the Cajun dessert, which was my contribution to the crawfish boil.
Who's next?
Yum! So smooth and creamy. Let's top that off with a beautiful Louisiana strawberry.
This has been such a fantastic day. We had a great time at the Crawfish Boil, and I know you've enjoyed the program too. I want to share this letter with you, and this letter comes from Karen Kimmons, and Karen is from Tickfaw, Louisiana. She says, "Dear Miss Lucy, I have seen your program only twice, and each time reminded me of all the Cajun cooking I grew up with in my hometown. I miss the kinds of meal that you have demonstrating on your show that my mother and neighbors used to prepare on a daily basis. Please send me your cookbook so I can refresh my memory on how to prepare these special meals for my family. Sincerely yours, Karen." Thank you, Karen, for sharing this letter with me. And thank you for watching me today. I hope you have had as good a time as I have.